Hello, 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 everybody. Despite my best efforts, it seems 8:30 is going to be the start time for a little while. Until I don't have to do edits all day. I'm assuming Opera Soria Alien Dance is a thing that you can see that I cannot see. Is my assumption. I assume. Yes, yeah. I remember you telling me about that, but I think that's because you have, like... What was that again? You have, like, downloaded something or another? Have you done the changeover, you'd say it. Ah, okay. So, well. We'll get there, because I do want to see the alien dance at some point, so... Alright. I have a tiny bag of leftover M&Ms. I'm trying to, like, drink caffeine and get sugar. Because I'm definitely feeling tired right now versus energized, because your name would be a different color too. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. All these fancy things. All these things you can do. With like, but it's like in the thing. I don't know. I don't really fully understand it. I'm just gonna babble, and at some point I'll be right about any of it. any of the cool Twitch things. I kind of understand Moobot. I've gotten that far. I'm proud of myself for that. That I, for the most part, understand Moobot a little bit. All right. Whew. Okay. Another day of breaking story. I think yesterday we hit a wall, a big time wall. So today we wrestle, we fight with demons today, because we're gonna overcome that wall. And sometimes overcoming walls like that, particularly in the breaking story process, is exhausting. It can be very exhausting. But we'll get there. We'll get there. What are you doing, Opera Soria? Are you working, or are you playing video games? Yeah. Yeah. I did just work out, but now my legs are shaky. I got shaky chicken legs. Let's see. Oh, you're off the... Oh, are you on... Oh, wait. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're done with... You're done at 8, aren't you? I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You're already done with work. I don't know what time it is. I don't understand time. Time is an illusion. That's good. Games sound like fun. I definitely foresee I'm so tired of writing after like a week of writing, or if I can at least finish a draft. Maybe if I can get the outline done, I'll do games before I go visit my family. We'll see. We'll see. Because I do want to start playing Drakengard really badly. I'll be that one weirdo on Twitch who's playing like Drakengard. I wonder how many people are actually playing any of the old like Yoko Taro games. You're playing Watch Dogs 2, and I swear it's really buggier than Cyberpunk. Holy shit! What is Watch Dogs 2? What studio did that? That's not the same. That's not CD Projekt Red, is it? Oh, it's you. Oh, it's Ubisoft. That makes sense. That definitely. I can't remember. Ubisoft did one of the South Park games? I'm trying to think of any Ubisoft. Did they do... I swear to God, I thought Ubisoft did like a pretty popular RPG that I played. Maybe they didn't. I can't... Who did Dragon Age? Or Dragon Age Origins? I remember playing the shit out of that. Maybe the South Park games are the only games I played that was Ubisoft. Nope. Oh, it's so dark. Forgot I can't use that because it... Is it funny that I use a web page with a white screen as like a light panel to give me a little bit of fill light on the dark side? Ah, yeah. And I've never really played the Assassin's Creed games. Not like I'm not like hating on them. I don't know. I never got into them. Had a lot of friends who liked them. Ubisoft. Let's see here. You grew up playing those, yeah. I had a lot, yeah. Some of my friends love those games. I like, and not like, I mean way back, like before I knew you, back when I was in Colorado. A baby step into what open world could be. Yeah, that kind of was their whole premise, wasn't it? Like you just were in Venice or in some place running around. Yeah, climbing and like dropping down and assassinating people. That's what I assumed. So I guess it is like, it's like an open world, but a city. Or open world, but yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, maybe, I know they did one of the South Park games. And that's probably the only Ubisoft game I've played, is whatever the South Park game was. Various parts of Italy for 2 and brother. Yeah, I know the Italy one specifically because when I would run D&D games, I think it was definitely, yeah, it was 2. I used to use the soundtrack when I would run D&D games, specifically for Assassin's Creed 2. Because I think the composer, I think, is it Jesper Kyd? What's his name? Something like that. But it was really great music. Like, it had fantastic music in the second one. I'm sure the other ones are good, too. That was the only one I ever used. The first one takes place in Egypt. Okay. That would make sense. Because it's all like... Aren't they, like, in with the Knights Templar? Doesn't it have something to do with that? Like, some weird Knights Templar nonsense? I don't totally remember. I did watch the movie with Michael Fassbender, by the way, which was terrible. It was a terrible movie. But, yeah, I remember that very, very much. So, at least in the movie, it had something to do with the Knights Templar. But, anyway. The video games, yeah. At some point, I will play video games on here. The way Twitch was designed, what made it popular. Of course, I'll play games that nobody watches. I remember the enemy company name was, Abstergo. Yeah, and they were connected with the Templars. Yes, I believe that is the case. In my opinion, the best thing about those games was the soundtracks, but that's just me. I'm sure the actual like sneaking and assassinating mechanics were fun. It's like the whole game was built around. And like the city always looked really cool, and I think they actually had like real historians. They were okay. I think they had real historians, like actually like help them construct the city. I think, if I recall. Maybe that was like advertising, and they didn't actually do that much. But I thought they were. Yeah, the cities. Yeah, I remember the cities being really cool. Yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, there's just a part of me that's like, how many people are playing Drakengard on Twitch? just to know what company I'll be in when I actually decide to play a game in Twitch. Super pretty backdrops and general locations you can explore. Yeah, it's an open world game. A open world game. Okay. Just curious. Let's see if I search. Categories. Drakengard 3. There are currently 2 people. No, there is 1 person playing Drakengard 3. And that is I don't even know if that actually is Drakengard 3. That might just be a person who brands themselves. All right, good to know. I'm going to be in super good company when I eventually play Drakengard 3 on here. Good to know. All right. All right, everybody. You'll monopolize. I will 100% monopolize that market. I will monopolize the Yoko Taro. I'm playing like the not popular Yoko Taro game. Or the non-near Yoko Taro games. Yes, exactly. All right. We've chatted enough. It's time to fight with monsters and fight with the creative beasts at hand. That's how I get them hooked. Exactly. With existentially depraved, still mildly horny anime RPG, action RPGs. Gotta love it. Alright. Okay. So let's go ahead and bring up Writing Cam, switch over to our drones, and get this party started. Because it is time to get work done, folks. Okay. Let's bring in the drones. There we go. All right, everybody. I think my Pomodoro's up. Writing sprints ahoy. All right. All right. Let's get going. See y'all on the other side. Happy writing. And away we go. Boy, oh, wows! We made it. We did it. We did it, everybody. We made it through the first one. Hello, Ghostly. Hello, Freedom. Freedom! I was not writing. Well, that's fine. Freedom for me. Freedom for me from beating my head against the wall here. How are you, Ghostly? How's everything going? Are you in show? I can't remember what day you said your show starts. It goes. Doing the work. Doing the work. Or attempting to do the work. There we go. Yep, last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday went really well. Congrats. Congrats on your, and you said it was your first show. Your first, I'm assuming, main stage show. So fantastic. I'm glad it went well. I watched your video. Your video is fantastic. I give it a great thumbs up. I think it's very, very well done. Particularly for a first analysis video. Highly, I think your points were, the next three should do even better. Well, fantastic. I can't wait to see what are your topics, for your videos. Oh, you mean the next three. Yeah, next three shows. Yep. Well, that's how stage shows usually go. They, depending on how much rehearsal time, they get better and better as you go. So usually the last week is when you're like really nailing it. Hopefully, should be that case. But yes, I thoroughly enjoyed your video. All well, good points, well researched. It is a common. You're pointing out it's actually a anxiety-inducing thing for a lot of writers out in Hollywood, like screenwriters and people running shows. Is getting buried on Netflix. And there's a lot of reasons for that too. I realize all the holes the video has in retrospect, but I can't hate it. Yeah, no, and you shouldn't. It's particularly as your first time working on it, working on something like that. And as you kind of refine it, you'll figure out your voice, you'll figure out kind of what you can refine and things like that. But it's all good. It has the language that you need. That's sort of like, there's like an internet grammar, like a kind of humor, a sense of humor that comes with it. Sort of, it's almost like reading like Good Omens or a Terry Pratchett novel where, but on video form, where you have like a little asterisk with like a cute little quip, adding onto the comment. I don't know. I'm fascinated by the grammar of like internet videos. It's kind of a language to its own, and I think you captured that really well. So, well done. Well done. I'm trying to think what else I can say, but I do know for a fact that, like, yeah, sometimes things just fail, and sometimes things are kind of structured and designed to fail. Netflix's entire business model does not do new ideas favors, which is unfortunate. Unfortunate. And even when you have everything going for you, sometimes they just bury it. Sometimes they just bury stuff. Mostly watch analysis videos, so I like to think everything I learned was from better examples. I mean, there was a period, and you're also, keep in mind, you're also watching people that have refined it for years, Even when analysis videos were getting really big, I remember when Tony, who did Every Frame Painting, started out, his stuff was pretty rough when he first started. Like, he was clearly very good at it and talented at it, but even his stuff, and he became like, everybody was trying to do what he was doing for a long time. And some of his videos like really hit strong. But yeah, his early stuff was still rough. As you're learning, as you're learning the process. and it's kind of hard. You have to mix like your voice with it, like essay writing, but it's almost like a monologuing almost. I just really hate what they've done to that show. Yeah, it's a big bummer. You're not wrong, Ghostly. It's a big time bummer. And it happens to a lot of shows, and it's not even Netflix anymore, too. It's a lot of them. I mean, we could go down the laundry list of... There's other reasons for why Warner Brothers and HBO have done what they've done, but it's... In some ways, it's similar. They just bury stuff or pull it. A lot of times now, they're starting to move to a business model where it's... They're trying to take a lot of that content and put it on ad-based streamers, so like Tubi and things that have ads. So it's almost becoming identical to television all over again, where they now sell off these properties to essentially play with advertisements. And yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing Netflix do that too. I realize it's YA, so the quality isn't Tarantino level. But as far as YA goes, I feel like it really is. I mean, I'm not a YA person, and I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I thought it was well done. It was well performed. It's visually inventive, which is a lot particularly for a TV show. So no TV show is gonna be like a movie. It's not gonna have that level of. It's not gonna have that level of production. It just won't. But it's a good show, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't go down as another one of the one-season Netflix shows. CW, oh man, CW. Really gives the whole genre grief when I think it can really be used well. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what's on CW. I mean, I knew about it when it was like pushing the Arrowverse as like the DC alternative, and obviously Supernatural. Every time I watch the CW, it's like blandly written things with like stupidly attractive people in them. That's like it. That's like all the CW is they just try to go cast all the prettiest people they possibly can and then have like generally very like blandly written shows. And that's about it. And some of them take off. Why it doesn't have to be trash, but its reputation has demolished it. Nothing has to be trash. YA is a difficult. I mean, it's a difficult genre. What is YA really? It's kind of. Did it start? I'm trying to think what like started YA, because there's always been like a young adult fiction, particularly in books. Riverdale stands as fact. Riverdale. With Supernatural, I always, that's not young adult, right? Is that young adult? I don't know. I always liked Supernatural. It was gonzo enough for me. I don't know if that would be considered Supernatural or like young adult necessarily. But there was a period where like young adult fiction, like books, they won awards and stuff. I mean, The Giver is a famous example of that. That was like, at least when I was growing up, that was kind of what I always imagined young adult fiction was. Supernatural and Walking Dead are in the same category. I mean, they definitely jumped the shark, for sure. At least Supernatural. But I loved that show. I enjoyed the hell out of Supernatural. I only got one season into Walking Dead. I read those comics, but I couldn't get behind the show. But I did like Supernatural a lot. I really enjoyed Supernatural. It was so balls to the wall for the most part. Didn't take it so. Yes, I think that's the big thing. Is anything that anything that Kirby, that's his name. It's Jack Kirby or something. I think it's something like that, or Kripke. I think it's Kripke. Yeah, the stuff he does is he's never too self-serious. He always kind of goes gonzo, and then of course now he's doing The Boys, which is fantastic. At least the seasons I've watched. I don't think I'm fully caught up on. Yeah, I have not watched the most recent season of The Boys, but yeah, he's pretty gonzo. he kind of that episode, that meta episode of Supernatural when they go to the set of Supernatural is still just it's so insane. I love it. He just loves him some Jensen Ackles. Yeah, he does. He really does. Anyway. Fantastic. Ugh. All right. Back to the grind, folks. Back to the grind, and then we can come back and chat in 30 minutes. I was a big fan of Scooby Natural. Yeah. Felicia Day is also really... Or is it Felicia Day? Yeah, Felicia Day is really good in that show, too. All right, everybody. We'll see you on the other side. If you're writing, good luck writing or working on other stuff. See you there. Away we go. Whoa, we did it. And break. Huzzah. Bleh. Oh, were you writing that time, Ghostly? Yeah. Yeah, it's been a slog. I hit a wall last night with this, so it's been a slog for me as well. I'm assuming it didn't go well. Yep. Sometimes that's the nature of the beast, man. Last night I was like, "Oh, everything I want to do with this has been done in this other movie already. Oh shit." And just realized that. So now I had to like go back and rethink and rehone things. So tonight is about fighting that brick wall, trying to tear it down and get past it. No, terribly, just hate everything I'm doing. Oh, yes. Definitely, if you can, fight the imposter syndrome. That shit. Thank you. Yeah, imposter syndrome never goes away. No matter, you could be the most successful person on the planet, and you're probably still gonna feel it. I don't know. There's part of me that's just like, I'm just making this shit up. Like, none of this. You look at, like, masters at their craft, and you're like, what is this? What am I even doing? But you can't think that way. But it's hard. And there are times where you just have to accept that, yep, feel that with every part of my being. Yep, me too. And it's hard. Sometimes you just have to accept that, particularly if you feel it, you can feel it in just your mood or kind of where you're at, where you're like, nothing I'm doing is good. Everything I'm writing, everything I'm working on is just, it's not good. You know, I think everybody kind of has their own way of trying to get around that or break that cycle. Some people just sit and focus and just try to get through it. Some people kind of have to step away and kind of like re-inspire themselves. Yeah. I'm at the point where I'm going back to old stuff and asking what happened to you. Like, I was better last year then, which is a bitter, like, oh yeah, do not do that. I have gone down some crazy rabbit holes where I've looked at old writing. I looked at some of the, like, my thesis defense when I was in philosophy, and I was like, I was smart. What happened? What happened to you? It's always, it's crap colored glasses while you're looking at it right now, the stuff you're working on right now, and rose colored glasses when you're looking at stuff from the past. And it's all perception. None of it's real. It's all a lie. It's fabricated in the mind. But you still feel it. And that's, yeah. I think the best thing you can do is try to find what works for you to kind of like shake you out of that a little bit. I can't look at my old stuff. That won't help. That'll just make me feel worse. I'm one of those people who use the writer's block to continuously hit my head against until ideas come out. Brute force, baby. Well done. Well, so I salute that. That is force of will. Well done. I can do that if I have to. Sometimes, deadlines require you to get it done. But it's, it can be, for me, I have to find things that, like, inspire me. So sometimes I'll just watch a movie that I really love, or like read a book or a comic book or something I really love. Anything that seems like people are just having fun doing it. Like, it's less about it being good and more about just how much people are enjoying it and enjoying doing it. That tends to, like, kind of reinvigorate me a little bit. It kind of gets me out of my head, or the sort of pretension of it having to be brilliant. Clearly my writing is great based on my grammar tonight. I mean, Hey man, grammar, even if you break the rules, sometimes that can be great writing. Don't think that some of the greatest authors who've ever lived don't play with grammar and start getting funky with things, because they definitely do. Read Proust. That guy wrote sentences that would last for like 3 pages. I don't even think they're technically grammatically correct either. They just keep going. they just keep going. One of the greatest writers who's ever lived. You know. I kind of wish I could do that, but I've forced myself into this hole of doing it every day. And we're at 872 days in, and I'm not willing to be that. I'm not willing to be that kind of self-defined. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's where your dedication to doing it every day almost is trapping you a little bit. Yeah. That's a tall order. I can't write every day. I mean, yeah, brute force. Yep. That is. At any point, if you ever stop, just know that that is an impressive amount of will. That you have gone that far, however far you go, because that is insane. That is insane. That is, yeah. But don't make yourself crazy. That's the hardest part, is don't make yourself crazy. Yeah, yeah. But there's always going to be weeks of crap writing. I don't think that's necessarily like an escape. I think it's part of the thing. As I've gotten older, that I've tried to like really rely on is trusting the process, and the process requires lots of terrible writing and terrible anything, not just writing, but art or even making movies or anything like that. I have made some cringy, embarrassingly bad movies in my day. A lot of short films that I hope never see the light of day. So a lot of that, that's just part of, you have to kind of have to just commit yourself to even the terrible stuff, because that's the good stuff kind of all comes out of the terrible stuff in the end. Don't you just love being a creative for the art? Yeah, there's a lot of, when I go down to Little Tokyo and I just see a lot of people running around like watching anime, being just general nerds. I used to have like, man, I wish I could just like have a job and pay my bills and just watch Japanese cartoons and be one of these nerds, because it seems a lot easier than the shit I put myself through. Sometimes you just need to write a trashy vampire story, and that's okay. Hey, those are the best. The best vampire stories are trashy, and the best trashy stories are vampire stories. So that's just that. I am literally reading a trashy vampire book right now. It is as trashy as it comes, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. So, embrace it. I hit that niche and I freaking loved it. Good for you. It's a good one. It is a good one to have. There's nothing better than trash vampire. Trashy vampires. Idea was Twilight meets Resident Evil, and I have no shame. Embrace it. Own it. Love it. There is no shame. The way that people give up their mortality to live forever in darkness is what you should do with your shame. It's just give it up and embrace the night. Embrace that angsty, gothy night. I forgot that I have food now. At some point, I'm gonna have to eat. Currently, I'm working on a little stupid mystery. Well, that sounds fun. I've never tried a mystery. That's something I'd like to crack someday. But it's a particular. You have to be very it's a very cerebral writing. But I always liked like Agatha Christie and those stories. So, and I'm and I'm going to enjoy it, Doug. You know, you can also just there is a freedom in just being like, I'm doing it. Right now I hate it. I might love it. I might love it in like 20 minutes. Brute for happiness. Yeah, thou art a dogged fellow, stubborn and willful, but you don't get almost 900 days of straight riding without an immense amount of willpower, so more power to you there. I don't know how you do it, Ghostly. I really don't. It's fine, everything is. I will enjoy what I'm doing, so help me. As the house is burning down around you, I will enjoy this. By the gods. You're standing in defiance, literally. You're like literally telling the gods 1-4. I mean, that's like, isn't that literally how Odysseus winds up stranded on the island with the Cyclops? Literally by pretty much telling them that they don't have what it takes to take him down. You say willpower, I say horrible stubborn nature. We all have. Oftentimes the things that can be said to be one of our better qualities always comes with a downside. So your stubborn nature might be one of the reasons why you can do the creative work you can do and do like really cool things and just power through and get it done. It also probably leads to burnout, an immense amount of a sort of entrapment by your own stubborn nature to make it happen. So part of getting older and part of trying to like manage life is embracing the good elements about your traits and tempering their excesses. Burnout? Nah, never. Oh, yes. Oh. Deny all you want. It happens. It happens to the best of us, and it hurts. Particularly if you ever get it real bad. I don't know how you've been able to write that long, because I would have hit burnout, and I've had burnout last weeks, even months, where I don't get anything done. Where I just sit and stare at a ceiling. I've only been on this planet for 18 years. I don't adopt unhealthy traits. I will never have the time to. You are. I don't know. I wouldn't say. I don't know if you're. The intensity by which you are writing per day is necessarily healthy, though. Sometimes it does behoove one to take a break. But yes, you definitely seem to have. At least you'll never go down like some crazy rabbit hole of, the vices. You've got an all-consuming vice already. Yeah, I would assume not. And hey, sometimes there's power in ritual. Power in the fact that even if you just sit down and type a couple of words, you've sat down and typed a couple of words. It's like watering a tree every day or something like that. You aim for 600, but I take what I can get. 600 is not bad. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty reasonable. I can, depending how fast you can get it out and kind of what mental headspace you're in, 600 is not too bad. But hey, if it's 100, it's 100. The main message is as creatives, we all have to, as just people in general living in this world, we must all learn to be kinder to ourselves. And oftentimes that leads us to be kinder to others, too. I am of the opinion that if I stop for one day, I will never start again. Well, you've been at it for so many days, I can actually see I can see a logic. It's not true, but I can definitely see a logic there. I can see why. It's a compulsion almost. And that's also part of where rituals can also have their downside, is without a certain ritual, a certain thing you need to, it breaks the cycle, it breaks the circle, it breaks the ritual, that kind of thing. I bemoan, but I think my day wouldn't be complete without it. Yeah. And even if it's just another thing, just, hey. I mean, just writing down a thought is technically writing. So, writing is my drug. That's, as far as drugs are concerned, that's not a bad drug to have. So, I go ahead and say good on you. Good on you, Ghostly. And my peers liking the Mary Jane, but me nah. Give me those words. I like that you call it Mary Jane. Is that, please tell me, are the kids calling it that these days? I hope they are. I hope they are. I hope you just, or did you pull old-timey slang? Because I love, that's like something my father would have said. Funny. All right. Oh, you just don't know how to spell the actual name. It's fine. Mary Jane's way cooler. Stick with that. I'm in full support of you just calling it Mary Jane from here on out. If people can make that a trend, yep, dyslexia. Man, dyslexia and writers. It's funny. Yeah, it's a much better name. Much, much better. All right. And we've gone a little bit long on break time, but that's okay. That's alrighty. So now we're back at it. Another 30-minute writing sprint to try to break down these walls. So here we go, everybody. Happy writing. I couldn't read till I was 10, and now we're here. No, you're fine. You're fine. No need to be sorry, Ghostly. No need. All right, everybody. Happy writing if you're writing. We'll see you on the other side of the sprint. And away we go. Whoop. All right, we made it. Just gonna finish that. There we go. Bam. Muzzle. We did it. We did it. We made it. All right. I am going to step away. Woo! We're overcoming the hurdle. A little bit. I'm still trying to figure out the angle for this movie. It's something that foundational is going to take a while for me to hone to make it distinct enough to where I feel comfortable not just mining it's mostly a technical thing that I was trying to do that is very similar to another movie. So there's not like a fear of ripping someone off. I just don't feel good about mining that for a movie that I think is also like a masterpiece of a movie. And it has to do with like it's a flavor thing. It's also it's a flavor thing. It's how I want to use the technique. There's a technique in the style of storytelling and the way I want to film it that plays into the theme or one of the themes of the story. And where I found out I was kind of overlapping with another movie that does this particular technique really, really well, where it creates, I don't know if you've read or know too much about like false memories or how we can be easily tricked into kind of fucking with our own memory. And there's a thing where like they can give you a list of words that essentially have to do with like bedtime, essentially like bed, pillow, kind of like Shutter Island a little bit. Yeah, it's like that's like definitely the psychological where like the clues are there to figure out like you're in his worldview, so you're following that. It is similar to that, where you're like putting the audience in the worldview of the character, but unlike like playing into his delusion or his fantasy, the technique is pulling back a little bit and letting you essentially fulfill the fantasy because your brain is kind of being tricked into fulfilling it. So like in the false memory thing, it's kind of like if they give you like a list of 15 words that have to do with sleep, but it does not include the word sleep, almost everybody will remember the word sleep being included in that list. And it's because the way our minds work is we create meaning and associate things. So we add things that aren't there to like fill the gap. Or essentially if things are being implied, we'll immediately like jump to it. Yeah. And so I was trying to do that with essentially like create like not just false memory, but creating memory in the absence of memory and creating a narrative of sort of like identity narrative is what I'm trying to do in this story. But the movie that does this really well, it's probably just me overthinking this nonsense, but a movie that does this really well is a Korean film called Burning, where everything in that movie is essentially screwing with your memory and your expectations, where you are essentially, it's tricking you into thinking that a rich guy murdered this girl. And when you watch the movie, if you can remove yourself from like all the little details, if you've watched any kind of thriller, that like essentially there's associated things, but if you watch it and can remove yourself from all the associations that you expect in the genre, you realize that not only is it not likely he murdered her, it's like actually deeply unlikely and contradictory. But you buy into the character's worldview, but the movie's not putting you in his worldview per se. It's showing you that you, the audience, are susceptible to the same delusion that the main character is suffering, but without the movie doing it for you. It's letting your own mind do it. It's like that's like mastercraft. That's like a master of the craft of cinema. So I was trying to do something very similar to that, and I kind of realized I was starting to get really, really parallel to that. So now I'm pulling away and trying to restructure some things, since this is more about like, it's supposed to be like a horror movie, existential horror movie about identity creation and how we, the horror of like, what if we can't know ourselves, and the sort of the fear of not knowing is that you can't know yourself, and that's deeply terrifying. Unlike knowing, like, what if you couldn't know yourself? Maybe you don't, you think you do. So that's kind of what I'm playing in, but I'm trying to be subtle about it in that. Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry, Ghostly. I'm terribly sorry. I do tend to write existential horror films, so I don't like gore and I don't like slashery slash, but I do like horror movies that make us question what it means to be human. So I'm sorry if I give you a midnight existential crisis. Yeah. It's the movie Burning. If you ever are in the mood for a foreign film, like a Korean film, it's a masterpiece of a movie. It's called Burning. It's very, very good. And yes, it is a movie, a good time to watch sleep deprived. It would probably trip you out, or you'd fall asleep. I don't know, one of the two. But that is the desired goal. Yeah. Trying to. It's all about trying to get your ideas out, your creative voice out, but also trying to say something with it. So I always try to say something, a little bit of something with what I'm working on, right? If you're gonna commit to making a movie, it's kind of like, it almost has to become like a religion. You have to like, I am like proselytizing this thing, because it's so hard. I can never actually watch anything like that with my fragile brain, but what a concept. I don't know. Yeah, it's a trip. It's a very, very, it's a slow burn, quiet it's almost like a hangout movie. It's just people hanging out until the person just vanishes, and then the sort of pathological nature takes over. My reality is thin as paper. All of our realities are thin as paper. I don't even know what universe I'm generally living in. I'm pretty sure it switches from day to day, so it's why it's all so fragile. It's none of it. Is any of it real? Does any of it actually exist? Do I exist? I've definitely had those moments. No drugs needed, man. I have had those moments where I just wake up and go like, am I just a fantasy to myself? And then you fade away. It's like you've discovered you've solved the puzzle, and then you Obi-Wan Kenobi turn to fade away. Who knows? All these deep questions, as they say. All right. I'm going to use the restroom before we start our next little bit here. I can never write that. I only invest in the stupid. Don't say that. Sometimes simple is profound. Actually, more often than not, convoluted and complex is dumb. Sometimes the simpler things are the much more profound things. So don't knock that. Don't ever knock that. Simple ideas can completely change the way you look at the world. Okay, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are, back. Ugh. I was just gonna say there's a movie called Alcazar Balthazar, and it's a movie about a donkey, and it is extraordinarily simple. It is literally just about a donkey and all the various people who need the donkey to help them carry stuff in the village, and it is one of the most deeply profound films I have ever seen. And it is literally just about a donkey, just hanging out in the town. So, don't knock simplicity. Okay. All right. Where are we right now? Okay. All right. I think we've got one more for a full set. So, one more writing sprint, everybody. If you've all got it in you to once again beat down the wall. All right. And away we go. That's very true, Ghostly. That's very true. Very true. Very true. Yes, yes, back to the sprint, but yes. All criticism is invalid. Yeah, that is exactly the point. But it is awesome. Wow, that actually came out of nowhere. It's actually mid-thought on that one. That's not too bad. We did it. Wow. All right. There we go, everybody. We did 4 sprints. That's not too shabby. Dang. Yeah, that one actually snuck up on me. I was kind of already going. Yeah. Yeah. So it only took me 2 hours to get into the zone and actually start like letting the ideas flow. That's good though. I'm glad it flew by for you too, Ghostly. Sometimes that's how it happens. All right. Cool. Well, I was actually going to try to go later tonight, but I need dinner. So I think that's going to be the end of the Rider sprints tonight. Even though I would like to keep writing, but I do need to eat. Food was delivered to me, and it's just sitting here, so I should probably eat it. But yes, I hope yours went well, Ghostly, because the premise for your mystery is great. I mean, what was it? True that, yeah. I have a bad habit of not eating and then becoming like very tired and feeling like crap because of it. So that is a thing I have to force myself to do. And I've been told eating at like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning before I go to bed is a bad thing. So you think you made some decent headway? Yeah. Hey, comedy murder mysteries is pretty great. I mean, Glass Onion was fantastic. So, and I mean, so is Knives Out, and that's kind of doing the whole thing. I like where I'm at, and that's half the battle. See, you did it. You did it. Earlier tonight, you were feeling not great about everything you were doing, and now you like where you're at. See, sometimes, apparently for you, just head on. Apparently for me too tonight, I'm feeling a lot better about this as well. Those are my jam. Yep, they're great. Rian Johnson can write a murder mystery. It's clear he grew up on that stuff. He loves it. So yeah. Yep, it's good stuff. All right. Well, I just need to sprinkle a little stupidity in there, and now I feel better. Hey, if it's stupidity that makes it work for you, then it's going to be that stupidity that works for an audience. Because believe me, you will find an audience. Whatever. If you're happy writing it, there will be people out there happy reading it. I promise you that. You just got to find those people. All right. Alrighty. Cool. Well, I am going to go eat dinner. Everybody have a wonderful night. It was not as long as I had wanted, but unfortunately, I do need to eat. So maybe we will get at it earlier tomorrow, I hope. It depends how much edit work I have to do. You have a great night as well, Ghostly. We always love having you here and being able to chat with you. I'll be here tomorrow unless I'm dead or I get sick or my computer explodes. I'll probably be streaming every night this week to try to hit the deadline for the outline, since I need to have that done before Monday next week. So I will be here all week. So if you're around, feel free to hop in. I'd love to have you. Oh, thank you. Favorites are... Well, and we love having you. You are a blast to talk to. And I think a genuinely talented, wonderful writer. Your concepts are all on point, from your vampire trashy road trip story to your writers trying to solve a mystery. You've got good ideas. Oh, quick. What's up? Wait, put the timer down. Oh, quit. Oh, okay. Okay, that works. That's fine. Your brain, it's fine. I figured you had something. You were like, no, wait, before you go, watch this other Netflix show or something. All right. No. It's in the Netherlands. Yeah, that happens. Sometimes we fly away. All right, everybody. It's gonna be sign off time for me. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Happy writing. Love you all. And be kind to yourselves. Always be kind to yourselves. All right. Night night.